After my wife pulled out my oxygen tube, we were both reborn. In my past life, I'd fallen in love with a poor scholarship student named Willow. To marry her, I did everything I could, paid to keep her critically ill mother alive, gave her jewelry worth over 100 million yuan, and sank millions into her loss-making women-only bar venture. But I never imagined that when a car accident left me in critical condition, it would be Willow who pulled out my oxygen tube herself. Because the truth was, she never loved me. She hated me for using money to keep her close, hated that I stood in the way of the man she truly loved. When I opened my eyes again, it was as if I'd returned to life, back to the past. And the first thing Willow did was slap away the diamond ring I tried to give her. "I already told you I don't like you." Willow stared at me with clear disgust in her eyes. "Don't even think about insulting my dignity with money," she added, her voice cold. "And besides, I already told you a few days ago we're done. Stop pestering me." Then, without hesitation, she walked over to Makoto, took his hand in front of everyone, and said with pride, "He's the one I like. I'll only be his girlfriend. No matter how expensive your gifts are, I won't accept them." The students around us began whispering, excited by the drama unfolding before them, and that's when I realized that I had been reborn, brought back to the year Willow was graduating from university. Just days ago, she had broken up with me. So, thinking I could win her back, I'd spent 30 million yuan on a pink diamond ring and followed her to school. In my past life, she'd been so thrilled at the sight of the ring that she'd slipped it onto her finger without a second thought. But this time, before I could even open the box, she smacked it right out of my hand. I gave a cold laugh. "Willow, you're really full of yourself. Who said this ring was for you?" I looked up at the crowd, and just like I thought, Tana was there. Her eyes were red, misty, and locked on me. I bent down, picked up the ring box, and walked straight to her, right in front of everyone. I opened it. "Anna, your birthday is coming up. This ring is my gift to you." The pink diamond sparkled under the sun, both gentle and brilliant. Gasps spread through the crowd. Some students even jumped up in excitement. "Oh, my God, it's a 30 million yuan pink diamond ring," someone cried. "That's insane." Another joked, "If someone gave me a ring like that, I'd marry him on the spot." Someone else shook their head. "Willow is seriously ungrateful. With her background, how can she be so arrogant?" "Exactly," someone echoed. "She just let a golden opportunity slip away." Another voice added, "Anna and young Master Wong have known each other since they were kids. They're a perfect match, same family background, same status." Ina looked at me in disbelief and whispered, "George, is this really for me?" I nodded. "It's for you. Will you be my girlfriend?" Tears rolled down her cheeks. She threw her arms around me and said, "I will." Chapter 2. Anna, the only daughter of the Su Corporation, had been my childhood friend and had loved me in secret for years. Back when she started college, I visited her on campus. That's when I first met Willow, a financially struggling freshman working at a campus cafe. She accidentally spilled coffee on me and was so terrified she started crying. Her faded jeans, worn-out canvas shoes, and trembling hands left an impression. She was completely different from the privileged girls I'd grown up around. She had this quiet strength, like a blade of grass fighting to survive in the cracks of a sidewalk, and I fell for her when I found out she couldn't afford tuition. I gave her my bank card, told her I'd cover everything, on one condition: had to be my girlfriend. She hesitated for a long time, biting her lip, but in the end, she took the card reluctantly, clearly humiliated. After graduation, when she heard that Makoto was getting married, she got drunk and sobbed in front of me. She said she hated me, said I'd ruined her only chance at true love, that if it weren't for me, she and Makoto would have been together. I was crushed, and I let her go. But soon after, her mother's health declined. She needed a kidney transplant. Desperate, Willow came to me and climbed into my bed. She promised she'd marry me that night. She was passionate, and I fell in love with her all over again. But after we got married, she grew cold and distant, until the day of my car accident, before my family could arrive. She pulled out the oxygen tube, keeping me alive with her own hands, and when I came back to life, she went straight to Makoto. Fine, if that's what she wants this time around, then she can have it. But when she saw Anna and me hugging, jealousy crept into her eyes. She snapped, "We've only been broken up for a few days and you're already with someone else. So that's how much I meant to you." I almost laughed. For 4 years I spent more money on her than I could keep track of, got her mom into a private hospital, bought imported medication, lavished her with everything, and it meant nothing. Makoto stepped in. "Willow, don't waste your time with him. I have a gift for you too." Then he knelt on one knee and took out a small jewelry box. "I thought we'd missed our chance forever. I'm so glad you looked back," he said, opening the box to reveal a faintly shimmering gold ring. "I polished this myself, made it from a 5-cent coin. Took me 6 months. I even engraved your name inside it. So, do you like it?" The crowd was silent. Then came the explosion of chatter. "A ring made from a coin. Are they playing house? My little brother's in middle school, and he bought me a real gold ring for my birthday. Over 3 grams. I can't. This is second-hand embarrassment. I need to look at that pink diamond again just to reset my brain." Willow's expression flickered. embarrassment, uncertainty. In our past life, maybe she would have been moved. The ring may have been cheap, but it was handmade. It had sincerity. But that girl was gone. She had lived in my villa, worn luxury brands, eaten gourmet food, and dripped in jewelry worth millions still. She glanced at me, so I was watching her squirm, and quickly slipped the ring on her finger, with a smile, compared to people who just throw money around. Something handmade really shows love. She said. She helped Makoto up, and they walked off hand in hand. The senior class had already graduated. Students were leaving campus. Makoto had no place to stay, so Willow helped him pack his dorm room and invited him to move in with her. With their luggage, they pedaled laboriously on shared bikes to her apartment building. "Don't worry, Makoto," she said, trying to sound confident. "Once you get that job at Chancorp, we'll save for our own car." They reached the building. She leaned warily against the door, entered the passcode, and got an error message. "Incorrect password." Willow froze. She tried again. Still wrong. "Are you sure this is the right place?" Makoto asked gently. Willow slammed her palm against the door. "I didn't get the wrong place. George must have changed the password on purpose, just to make me beg him." She pulled out her phone and dialed. "George, is this your little game? You really think locking me out will make me crawl back to you? If you don't want me to hate you even more, open the door now." Chat moment. I was at the mall with Anna. When she heard Willow's voice on the phone, she grabbed the corner of my shirt nervously. I smiled and held her hand. In my past life, Anna had thrown herself over my dead body, sobbing until she fainted more than once. She was the one who truly deserved my heart. I said into the phone, "Willow, we've broken up, and if I'm not mistaken, that apartment belongs to me." Willow's face darkened, but with Makoto beside her, she couldn't lash out. She kept her tone steady, then at least opened the door. "I need my things," I said lightly. "Didn't know you had anything in there. My clothes, my personal stuff." I laughed. "Weren't all those things bought with my money? How do they count as yours?" I paused, then added, "What now? You broke up with me, and you still want to take advantage of me?" Her voice dropped. "Fine, just you wait, George. Even if you come crawling back to me one day, begging, I'll never forgive you." I hung up. That line should have been mine. Makoto hugged her tightly. "George is out of line. Who does he think he is? Treating you like this? Don't worry," he added. "One day I'll be somebody. I still have some money. Let's go rent a place for now." Willow's eyes turned red, clearly moved. "You've got that interview coming up. You need to rest. Let's stay in a hotel near the company for a few days. Once you get hired, we'll find an apartment nearby." She led him to a 5-star hotel near the complex. Out of habit, she reached for a black card, and then froze. She wasn't married to me in this lifetime. Of course, the black card she'd gotten used to wasn't with her. Awkwardly, she smiled and pulled out a regular card. "I'll take a quiet suite," she said. "Certainly, miss," the receptionist replied. "That'll be 3,888 yuan per night." Makoto grabbed her arm. "Are you crazy? That's enough to rent an apartment for 2 months. "It's fine. There's money on the card," she said calmly. A moment later, the receptionist looked up. "I'm sorry, miss, your card has insufficient—" How is that possible?" She took back the card, my supplementary card, the one I gave her in freshman year. She'd used it for nearly 4 years. In her mind, it had become hers. It never occurred to her that I might cancel it. Her expression soured. She grabbed Makoto's hand and stormed out of the hotel. "What's wrong?" he asked gently. Willow pressed her lips together. "Makoto, how much money do you have on you? We might have to stay somewhere cheaper." Makoto hesitated. "Hotels are too expensive. I don't have much left either, but a few days ago I found a 1-bedroom through an agent. Why don't we go rent it now? It's way cheaper than a hotel." Willow hesitated, then nodded reluctantly. "All right, let's make do for now." Burdened with bags, Willow and Makoto moved into their tiny rental unit. It was small, barely 50 square meters. Willow stepped inside, glanced around, and frowned slightly. The whole apartment wasn't even as big as the living room in the place I once had her living in. Makoto broke the silence, his voice nervous. "This place, it's definitely not what you're used to. We'll just have to manage for now." Willow shook her head. "Small places feel cozy. I actually like homes like this. That huge apartment George put me in before, I never got used to it anyway." Makoto lit up with joy. "Don't worry. I absolutely won't treat you like you did. One day I'll give you a small house to live in, really." Willow's eyes sparkled, and she threw herself into his arms. A man who actually respected her opinions and choices. If that wasn't love, what was? Feeling the warmth of her body against his, Makoto's ears turned red. In that tiny space, the two of them looked into each other's eyes and slowly leaned in for a kiss. Just then, Willow's phone rang from inside her bag. "Hello, Ms. Liu. Your mother's hospital fees are overdue. You'll need to come in and settle the bill today. Also, she only has 3 days worth of imported medication left. Please bring more when you come." Willow stood frozen. In her previous life, her mother had already received the kidney transplant, recovered, and been discharged. So when she returned to her 22-year-old self, she'd completely forgotten at this moment. Her mother was still in the hospital. suffering through painful treatment. In that past life, money had never been a problem for Willow. She drove the luxury car I gave her, lived in the upscale apartment I paid for, and used my credit card to cover all her mother's medical bills. Even her useless younger brother went to the best private high school in the city, all arranged by me, yet through it all, she acted like I had forced her into it, like she was the victim of some unbearable injustice. Now Willow had finally broken free from me, just like she'd always wanted. And she had nothing. I wanted to see how she'd handled those astronomical hospital bills now. To celebrate my new beginning, I went drinking with friends and ended up completely wasted. On the way home, I crashed straight into a utility pole. Anna, who was with me, panicked and tried to wake me when I wouldn't wake up, crying. She finally called 911 and got me to the hospital. I slept through the night. Anna stayed by my side the entire time. The next morning, just as I was about to leave, I saw Willow in the hospital lobby. She was choking back tears as she pleaded, "Doctor, please keep treating my mom. I'll pay the bill in a few days. I promise." She clung desperately to the doctor's white coat, her face full of sorrow. The doctor shook his head. "It's not that I don't want to treat her, but hospital policy is strict, and I'm just a regular doctor. I don't have that kind of authority. You should try reaching out to friends or relatives. See if you can gather the money quickly." With that, Dr. Yang brushed her hand off and turned to leave. Willow collapsed into a chair, eyes red with frustration. As Anna and I walked past her, Willow suddenly looked up, glaring at me bitterly. "George," she spat, "I know this is just a ploy to force me to marry you, but too bad it won't work. You followed me here, didn't you? Just waiting for me to come begging. The more you act like this, the more I hate you. Just stay away from me," she went on. "Neither I nor my mother need your filthy money. I refuse to live that humiliating life again." I was speechless. "And even if you marry that woman beside you, don't think I'll get jealous and come crawling back. Get that out of your head." Anna looked like she wanted to say something, but I gently stopped her. I said, "Thank you for your blessing. The Wong and Su families have long planned this marriage alliance, so I hope you won't interrupt our happiness again." I took Anna's hand and led her away. "George," Anna bit her lower lip, "will you really marry me?" I raised my hand, gently pinched her cheek and smiled. "Of course, and if it'll ease your mind, I'll have my parents visit your family in the next few days to discuss our engagement. How does that sound?" Anna blushed and nodded. "Okay," she said softly. "In my last life, after we graduated from university, Anna confessed her feelings to me, but I rejected her. Heartbroken, she left the country alone. This time, I would give her the perfect wedding she deserved." Willow sold the earrings I once gave her at a low price to a second-hand dealer. Only then could she afford another short stretch of treatment for her mother. She used the leftovers to buy some basic items for the apartment she shared with Makoto and picked up a few changes of clothes. Willow had grown used to a life of luxury and quality. She couldn't bring herself to buy cheap things. By the end of the day, the 300,000 yuan she got from selling the earrings was already down to 100 kot. She took the remaining money and went to find Sophia, the girlfriend of one of my close friends. In the previous life, after I married Willow, I worried she'd get bored staying home, so I gave her a sum of money to invest. She ended up partnering with Sophia to open a women-only bar, a bar exclusively for female guests. Many people who wanted to curry favor with my family sent their wives and daughters there to support it. Thanks to that, the bar made a fortune. Not long after opening, women surrounded Willow constantly, flattering her as if she were a brilliant businesswoman. And after hearing it enough, she started believing it that she could succeed all on her own. But this time, when she brought 100,000 yuan to Sophia, hoping to reopen the same kind of bar, Sophia scolded her and threw her out. "You think you can open a bar with just 100,000? Sophia snapped. "Do you even know the rent in that area? It's tens of millions a year. I really don't get what young Master Wong ever saw in you. He spent so much money on you. And not only are you ungrateful, you act like it was all some kind of humiliation. You've got so much pride, so what are you doing here begging me now?" Willow stared at her in shock. "Didn't you once say I was your best friend?" Sophia took a step back, just as shocked. "What are you talking about? Even if I lost my mind, I'd never say something like that. You were just a broke country girl. If it weren't for young Master Wong, I would never have crossed paths with someone like you in my entire life." In her previous life, Sophia really had said things like that. But in this one, Willow had never married me, and they were never close. Still, Willow didn't give up. One by one, she went to find all the wealthy women who had surrounded her in the past life. But this time, not a single one paid her any attention. Only then did Willow finally understand. She hadn't succeeded because she was capable. She succeeded only because she was my wife, my clothes, my personal stuff.